I'm sure most people have heard about this case. After all, several celebrities were actively involved in trying to free the West Memphis Three. It was in the news quite heavily, and is rightly considered to be one of the most egregious acts of injustice in the U.S. In a very brief recap, however, for those who are unaware, in 1993, 3 8-year-old boys went missing. They were later found in a shallow stream, creek, brutally murdered. Authorities quickly focused on a local teenager and his best friend for no other reason than Damien wore black, was a Wiccan, and liked metal music, and Jesse was his best friend. They coerced a confession from a mentally challenged acquaintance, and used that to convict all 3 boys. Almost 20 years later, an agreement was reached that allowed the 3 teenagers to go free, although they are technically still considered guilty of the crime. What happened to Eccles, Baldwin, and Miskelly was a tragedy, no doubt. But what really disturbs me is that someone brutally killed these 3 little boys. And not only do we not know who the actual killer is, Stevie, Chris, and Michael have been practically forgotten in this whole ordeal. We know more about the West Memphis Three than we do the 3 murder victims' hell. We know more about Damien Eccles' at the time girlfriend than we do the details surrounding the murders of these 3 little boys. I understand that because of the way the plea deals worked out, nobody else can be convicted for the crime. But even beyond conviction, the story of the West Memphis Three overtook the story of the 3 murder victims. The WM3 became more important, more relevant, more interesting, than finding out what happened to these 3 boys. Again, I'm not saying that getting the WM3 freed wasn't necessary. I'm not saying that what happened to them shouldn't matter. But I feel that the murder victim's story was just as important as the WM3's story.